and PhD in China, UESTC, and he's currently, should I say, doing or about to start his postdoc in UESTC. So let's welcome Dr. Nusenu. So he'll give us a brief introduction about himself and then.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Shaddrack from Ghana. And I must say that I'm very happy to be here once again to share with you. And I must thank my co-supervisor, Dr. Apple, for a wonderful presentation. Basically, my presentation will be in two categories. The first one, we will talk about the PPT, and the second one, you will ask questions. So in these two categories. So because your question can reveal secret behind the walls, you understand? Because you have to see with your mind what people for you to see with your eyes. So that's what we are going to do now. Now, basically, this is an overview. We will discuss about the background of post writing, and most of the things has been discussed by Dr. Bassett. So it will be a review or a recap, but we will highlight certain things out of that. We'll go more into manuscript revision, indexing the difference between master thesis and PhD thesis, then the thesis defense, then we conclude the presentation. It is very important to know who is talking to you. So briefly, my profile. Next slide. This is my academic qualification, PhD in Information and Communication Engineering. That is, I'm a product of this great university. And I did my master's in India, that is SR University in India. And bachelor in Ghana and HND also in Ghana. My academic activity is very important. I'm a editorial board member for American Journal of Remote Sensing, a guest editor for Advancing Science and Technology, and I'm technical committee member organizing conferences in the US for this journal. And I'm a reviewer for IEEE Access, IEEE Sensor Letters, IEEE Wireless Communication, Wireless and Propagation, and Progress in Electromagnetic Research, the American Journal of Remote Sensing, and International Journal of Technology and Research Management. So I review requests for this international journal. These are my research field, because basically my research is about radar and signal processing. So I research on FDA, wireless physical layer security, undetectable radar and communications, then normal and millimeter wave technology, then spatial sharing signal processing. So basically, this is what I do. These are my publications, so we'll go through the publications. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. So these are what I've done so far. Now let's begin. Now we know that research per se will highlight a very simple things, and our main focus is that research method investigates into a specific subject. So you may take, for me, I'm communication, so I'll take communication. But in the communication, I have a simple or a specific subject I want to research to, so I have to narrow it down. I'll have to discover facts. I have to also establish a theory, and I have to develop a plan for action. For this will give you the research, and that's what Dr. Abu have discussed previously. Now, what are the forms of research? Our research can be based on original work. Your research also can be based on revised work. Now, your research also can be based on extended one, or your research can be based on overview or survey. In UESTC, mostly we want our research to be original. As a PhD candidate, all your research is supposed to be original. You don't do extended work. You do extended work for yourself only. But if you want to graduate, your research has to be original. That is the PhD in UESTC. All right. Now, proposal writing. You know, all this PPT is in relation to, please wait, it's in relation to UESTC. Now, the title, you need to identify what you want to do. Now, the title is like an investment for the proposal. How your title is define the proposal. So if you don't have good title, who will read your work? Your title should be able to attract me. Your title should be able to catch the reader, the supervisor. Your title should be able to get the main attention. How to select your title? Professor, Dr. Abdu said, read 3 times. So which means that you need to read a lot. All right. Now, research background. You know, background is different from introduction. Don't get confused. Introduction gives overview. Background gives in-depth. But in UESTC concept, they will put research background, which means that introduction and background are integrated together now. They are integrated in the content of UESTC. So if you are writing research background, which means that you need to review relevant history about the topic, you have to give information about the subject, the current information about the subject. So that will form back your background. And you add these two to it. Now your background, research background will be rich now. So if you don't know this, you may write anything anyhow. Now the next one is literature review. Now the literature review, we know that literature review previous work done. Now you talk about the current development in that field. After that, you have to also look at the gap that you want to fill. The gap that you want to fill. Now after that, you are supposed to explain the problem that your study want to address. That form back the literature review. With these 4 points, you can write your literature review, and you add this, the significance of the research to it. At that point, you are building your proposal gradually. The next slide will give you the problem statement or the problem formulation. Now, the problem formulation will give you 3 categories. Key problems that you have identified, you just list them. Now, the theory that you want to use to support your problems, you need to explain the theory that you want to use to support. So if you list, let's say, 3 key problems that you have identified you want to solve, which means that you should have theory to support it. Now, when you finish technical roots of the research, that means that you have to devise your method, how you are going to solve the problems. That is the meaning of this. This is the format of UESTC, their proposal writing. So as a new PhD, you want to write a proposal, this is what you follow. Now the next one will give you the implementation approach. In management perspective, maybe you may use quantitative, qualitative, survey, questionnaire. In engineering perspective, you have a lab, you design something, MATLAB, any simulator that you want to use. It's fall under this category. So that is what you do. Experimental simulation and survey. Now the next one is your research plan. You should be able to tell from maybe July to August, this is what I want to do. From this to this is what I want to do. You should be able to list them in mind. This is something that you are projecting, that this is what you want to do. So research plan, you just list them. From this month to this month, I want to work on the introduction part. From this month to this month, I'll be working on this. From this month to this month, maybe this is what I'm going to get. From this, you just list them so that they will know what you are about. So that's the start and the finish. So it is up to the time that you graduate. Maybe If you are doing PhD 4 years, if you are doing masters 2 years, so this is them. All right. Now, innovation of the research. You highlight the main contribution of your research, and that's end your proposal for UESTC. So these are the steps that you follow to get a proposal done. In the next slide, you are going to see conference and journal, how to select it. Now, how to select a conference basically, or a journal, basically depends on your work. The next slide. Now, your work will determine the scope and the aim of the journal. In the radar perspective, if I'm doing something on target detection, I will not select management journal. They are out of my scope. So your work will determine the aim and the scope of the journal. So that's what you use to select. The next one is, this is not a requirement, but it is very important. What it means is that you look at a similar work done in this journal. If you do that, you are telling me as a reviewer that your paper or your work is suitable for this journal. That's the meaning. It is not a requirement, but it's something that can boost the editor or the reviewer. So normally, if we are writing papers, that's what we do. We find previous accepted papers or published papers in this journal, in that journal, then we cite it so that the reviewer will know that it belongs to the paper is where, like, you can use it for that journal. It's very important. The last one, the indexing and the impact factor is very important. Journal without indexing, which means that it is very low in quality. That's the meaning. The one with indexing, we suggest that it has very good scientific high quality. And impact factor is just like a tool that you use to measure the ability of the journal. That's all. Calculation of the impact factor is out of scope of this PPT, but just impact factor cannot only determine the magnitude of the journal, no. Because impact factor can be cooked. Most of the journal you can see one, maybe 10 impact factor. Does it mean that it's good? There are other parameters too you have to look at. Alright. Now review. Review will take a form of maybe 4 or 3 phases. Depending. The first form is author. The author is you. You are doing the work. You are writing your thesis. You are writing your proposal. You are writing your papers. You want to publish. You want to complete your education. So you are the first author. Now the first author you need to read. So you are the first reviewer. The phases, you start from number 1. Before the next phase, it's being sent to editors or associate editors. So which means that number 1, if you don't do your work very well, once it gets here, the tendency of your paper coming back to you for free is very high. If you don't do your work well. Now, most of the journal, when you send your paper, it ends here. They don't send it to the reviewers, no. Because they don't want to waste reviewers' time. Because Dr. Abbasi said that reviewers are very precious. We are very precious, I'm part of them. We are. Yes, we can reject you at any time. We are. So sometimes it depends. So it gets here, you just monitor, read, understand, see whether it is within the scope, the content is very important or not. If it is not important, at this stage they can return your manuscript to you. If it is very important and it's fall within the scope, it moves down to the reviewer session. And that is where other factors also have to come in. The next slide. Manuscript revision. Now, Dr. Abdul made mention of certain things. Now we have accept with minor revision. Then we have reject. That is, sometimes you need to update and resubmit. That's what they'll give you. And the last one, they'll give you reject. Quietly. It's very simple. So, sometimes when you get reject, update and resubmit, which means that you have a chance. you have another chance to do your homework very well, to update your paper. And when you get to this level, please, you need to be very careful. You need to check your content again. You need to check your information again. All right. Publishing and indexing. Now, in UESTC, this great university, depending on your school or depending on your course or subject or your program, I fall within SCI, SCIE, and the management also fall within the social science. Now, to graduate, you need this form. To graduate, this is what we need. So, either your paper have to be accepted by SCI, SCIE, or the social or the management student category. Or we come to engineering index. This engineering index. So that's what we need to graduate. Now the next one, emerging source. Please, it is not in this school. Maybe you have to do it. You want to write a paper to this place. It's not. When you are emerging means that these people are trying to come to this category. That's the meaning, emerging. Although it is very important that you have a paper here, but it will not help you to graduate if you want to graduate. That is if you are a master. No, let's talk about PhD student. Now, if you are a PhD student, this is not a requirement for you. You cannot use it to graduate. So you have to fall within 1, 2, 3, 4 categories. Yeah. Already, I just mentioned about impact factor and the JCL. Now, the JCL is very important because it helps you to know the category of the journal. Maybe some of the journal rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4. Most of the transactions, maybe 2, maybe 1, or maybe 3. So this also will determine, because when you are filling the forms, they will ask you what is the JCL number of this journal, what is the JCL. All this, you have a site you can go to check all these things. It's not difficult at all. Now, I told you previously that the impact factor just measure the journal in a particular subject area. The higher the impact factor, which means that the more highly ranked that journal. But it is not the only parameter to assess the journal. You cannot use only impact factor to assess a journal, please. There are so many parameters. All right. Now, this is the website we normally use, and Dr. Abdul gave a very good presentation on this. Now, for JCL, you can use this one. For JCL, this website will give you the impact factor of the journal, the ranking of the journal, and the SCI, whether the journal is SCIE or SCI. So, for PhD students, if you want to check the journal that you are sending your paper to, just use this one. If it is not here, don't worry. Go to the journal site and check whether they are SCI or they are SCI. Most of the journals are not here. So you cannot find them. And this one can give you a wake-up call, which means that select journals that are here if you want to get a very good citation. You see. The next one will give you the impact factor. So if you want to know the impact factor of a journal, or yes, a journal per se, you use the last site. This one will give you the impact factor. Now, master's thesis and PhD. There's an interesting revelation here. Master's thesis and PhD, are they the same or not? Now, with this question per se, it depends on you whether they are the same or not. Now, the first one, I will talk about duration. Now, let's take your time. So, duration. You know, the master's thesis take how many years? 2 years. PhD take how many years? 4 years. So, they are not the same. We are building our information now. we are building. Now, next, review perspective. PhD thesis will be sent to 5 reviewers. They are outside our school. Maybe only 2 are within. You don't know them, but 3 is outside. So, reviewer perspective, master's thesis, they are just offering the surface of UESTC. They are on the surface here. They are not even outside the boundaries. They are not even on chief or paradise. They are within the 4 corners of this university. Maybe in our school. You understand? So they are limited in the reviewer boundaries. Alright. The next one. Thesis content. The magnitude of PhD thesis is very high as compared to master's thesis. So if a PhD is writing a thesis, you realize that the tension, what he will go through to get the thing done. So the content, the kind of information, because PhD thesis is you are contributing to knowledge base. But master's thesis is not like that in that category. Master's thesis can be like you are trying to get enough information and argumentative literature to support your master's thesis. But PhD thesis, you need to have contribution to knowledge. You need to add, and not one. You can have multiple. All right. Now the PhD defense go through. I use almost like 2 hours defending my PhD. Masters use, I don't know because I'm not doing masters. So the defense period, you go through so many things, so many phases. Because before you prepare everything, you have to work very hard to get there. All right. Now the writing standard. Now the writing standard of PhD is being monitored as compared to the master's one. So if you are a PhD student, you realize that you cannot just write anything anyhow and go and dump it on your supervisor or the committee. Your thesis will be rejected. So the standard, the writing standard is different. Masters, at least your writing standard will be very low because the monitoring process will not be too high. While for PhD, only formatting can just bring your paper back again. Wrong formatting, you can have the paper back again. All right. Now, PhD requires independent work. For somebody to write your PhD thesis for you, it's like, I don't have any better analogy, but it's like, if you did not start a PhD, it's very important for you. Because PhD thesis is very independent, write it yourself. Because at the defense time, you know the value of writing your PhD thesis yourself. For the masters, you can leave it for a friend to write it. Maybe chapter 1, you will write chapter 2. You swap it for friend. For master thesis, you can manage, but for PhD, write it yourself. So that if they ask you a question, you can be able to defend. The length of the writing of the PhD thesis, you can just imagine more information is required than the master's. So the length of the writing is different. Alright. And the amount of the material that you need for the PhD also is quite different. So this, in my view, makes a clear distinction between the master's thesis and PhD thesis, or the dissertation. Alright, the next one. Now the defense per se. Now this is where most of you go through the PhD student, and the first thing that you have to know is know your work. If you are preparing to defend, you should know the content of your work. What you put in your paper, that's in your thesis book. Because when you go, each professor will have a copy of your thesis. You yourself have to have one. So as you are defending, as you are presenting, they are also going through your thesis work. And when you finish, question will start from what you have given them. So in this case, if you did not write it yourself, you may not know the content.